by Geek Cross. Hi, my name is Anna.
And I'm Peyton.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with more requested reactions, and we'll be watching more Dreamcatcher videos.
So, it has been quite a while since we have watched Dreamcatcher. The last time we reacted to them was for their Boca comeback. But since then, we've gotten a lot of Dreamcatcher requests. So now we can finally start from the very beginning of Dreamcatcher with their debut, Chase Me, and then their first comeback, Good Night. Yeah.
Let's go!
Woo!
Happy face.
This is very strange. It's probably a huge contrast from what I know of their sound. Oh, this is like three and a half, almost 4 years old then.
It immediately makes you think like horror film.
Oh.
Like The Hotel.
Oh. Yeah, and the flickering light, she's just standing there.
With the doll.
Build up. Right, they have very, very like rock sounding music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh?
What is the storyline?
I don't know.
It's a trilogy, isn't it? Or something?
I feel like I'm having a vague memory of hearing a clip of the chorus Chase Me part like 2 years ago. Like scrolling through Instagram in the library at college.
Oh. There's so many like iconic horror films that are being referenced.
Yeah. Oh, the piano line in the background is really... Oh. Okay.
They play evil very well.
Aww. In the best way possible.
Oh no, it's fun to play an evil character.
But who is that guy? Is it just someone that they're haunting?
From the clips I can see of the dance, you can tell that they always had like a very distinct style, but also that it's gotten so much more advanced in the last 3 years. Like thinking about Boca. Oh, the sepia tone. Sepia? Sepia?
Oh.
Is he like filming the haunting or something? Chest contraction, arch.
Oh, is he like a hunter? Oh. Eh?
Huh?
Or
Alright, I didn't expect that to happen.
are they ghosts haunting him because he killed them? I don't know.
What?
I don't know, dude.
But it's like it continues.
Right,
Oh.
this is the start.
Creepy music video, like creepy music.
Oh,
box.
yeah. Oh, no. And it's like scratchy, yeah, in and out.
If there was a jump scare right there, I wouldn't have been shocked. Well, I would have because it's K-pop.
You can
but
hear
it was
how
like a horror
the creepy
film.
music, and then now it goes deeper. And the time clicking, of course. Dude, his facial expression at the end. I didn't like that, dude.
Even from just what you could see in the music video, you can tell that their dancing has matured so much since this song. And so like it's really hard because I'm not purposely trying to compare them, but also, since I've seen what they've done more recently, it's hard not to compare them, so I apologize. Even though it has definitely matured, it's not that their dance in Chase Me feels, oh, they were definitely rookies. You can tell that most of them had had prior experience since they had been in Minx, but currently Dreamcatcher has such a distinct style, and it's more of like a mature, hard-hitting style that they have really grown into, and you can tell that they weren't there yet when this happened, so it was a little bit like, what? And one example of that I noticed in the music video was like when they're transitioning between formations or something. Now it feels much more like the transitions are part of the dance, whereas this, it felt like I've danced and now I've turned and I need to walk there and then I'm gonna dance again. So that's like one way that I saw like, oh, they've grown a lot in their dancing. But there were also things in it that I really liked, and so one of the things that stuck out to me in the music video was the hairography. And like, I'm just a sucker for hairography anyway because I think it's super cool and adds a lot of personality to dances. But it's especially interesting in this because the music video is so clearly a horror story, like ghosts. I'm pretty sure that they're ghosts anyway based on the music video. In horror films, dark hair over your face is often used to denote like the spirit or the evil ghost or something. And especially from what I understand of like Korean folklore and Korean ghost stories, that's like a hallmark of Korean ghosts, is the long dark hair like covering the face. And there's a lot of moments where they're using the hair and then they flip it over their face before they move on to the next part. And I was like, that's really cool. And then also, like I mentioned in the music video, one of the members, and I don't know her name because I couldn't tell from the music video, arches off the floor when she's singing. And it was such a cool moment because first of all, it's harder than it looks to do that. Like, she completely leaves her head on the floor, her tailbone's on the floor, but she arches her back off, so it's a lot of flexibility and a lot of core strength. But also, it was interesting placement because she was kind of behind what the group was doing, but it was such an eye-catching moment, even in the full shot, that I actually had to go back and consciously think, like, Peyton, watch what the group is doing too, because the first time I watched it, I didn't even know what they were doing. It was basically like they weren't there. Like, it's such an eye-catching shot. And then I really liked the music video. If you've watched this channel before, you probably know that I really like horror, but I don't want to like sit here and try to think about like, oh, this could be it, because I know we're about to watch part 2. So I'm just curious to see what it is. And with that, it's Anna's turn.
It's also similar to what you were saying. Like, you can tell right from the debut of Dreamcatcher, they had a very clear vision for the group and set concept, and that translated into like a set sound. Because to me, from what I've heard so far, I don't know about the releases in between, it sounds like, okay, Dreamcatcher has this more like edgy rock sound, but then each release will like branch into a different variation of that. Like we mentioned, Boca had more like Latin elements to it too, but at the core it stays true to the edgy rock sound. What was nice about this one was the sentimental piano parts too, and I think it suits what their voices sounded like at this time too. Wow, their voices have changed a lot. Like, obviously it's not that they were bad singers, but similar to how their dance style has definitely shifted and evolved to fit the concept that they have, and it wasn't fitting perfectly at debut. It's similar to that for their voices. They are all singing very sweetly in this. There are some diction choices being made to suit like an edgier song, but the overall like tones and their vowels for the most part are very sweet sounding. The biggest contrast to me, I mentioned in one of our past Dreamcatcher reactions, I was like, oh, I really like that girl's voice. Her name is Xian. And her voice sounds so different in this. In this, it sounds like she's forcing herself to match tones with the rest of the vocal line, which like I can understand because one of the big things in choral singing is like you blend and try to match tones with the other people around you. But because we saw their most recent release and I loved like the depth and edginess of her voice, it just like when I hear this now, I'm like, oh, where is it? Like, you can hear hints of it in this song. Like, what is it? I've experienced it and now I can't go back. So, and then the other person's voice that I noticed changed a lot is the rapper Tammy, because I've also seen on Instagram too, she's known for having like a really low tone voice when she's rapping, like a deep voice. But in this, she has yet to have that. So I'm really sorry that a lot of my comments were comparing their most recent stuff to like this debut song, but like it's the stuff that was like sticking out of my mind because, yeah. Anyways, that's all I had to say. So next.
Alright, so now we'll be watching their first comeback as Dreamcatcher. Good night. Sounds ominous.
Let's go. April. So this is like 2.5, 3 months later.
I'm so curious.
Oh, creepy music box. Oh. Oh.
What? A dream catcher.
Oh, that was cool. Oh.
Their dancing already feels like the clips, like heavier or like more grounded.
I wonder if it has something to do with the music then.
Maybe.
Because this song doesn't have like the delicate sections.
I will say I'm glad I didn't try to like piece the story together in the last one because I would never have guessed they were going to be in the woods for this.
Oh, all the eyes on the walls. What? Okay, but who is the man? I just...
What?
Huh? Oh, what the? Oh? Oh. Yeah, the resolution. That's interesting. Everything's burning. Oh, they
Is he
trapped
in
him.
there?
Oh, oh, there's still like 40 seconds left.
What?
Oh, the ominous lime green color too. Oh. So are they actually alive?
They're like a witch coven?
Yeah, are they witches?
Did this happen before because he had the book? What?
Ing. I don't know.
In terms of the dancing, it is evolving already, and like Anna, you said, maybe it has something to do with the song. And I do think to an extent it does have something to do with the song, just because different songs call for different styles of dancing. Part of it I think is also just like maturing in dance, because when I watched the dance practice, it is still more bouncy, I would say, than Dreamcatcher Today that's like super grounded, and so it was more evident to me in the dance practice that this was like an earlier release than it was in the music video. So I think part of it is the song, part of it is maturing, and then also just the dark lighting, and they're dancing in the forest, and like the editing is really cool. So I think it's a combination of all of that. The only other thing I'm going to say about the dance practice though, because I want to try to keep it to what's in the music video, is why was the beginning of the dance not in the music video? Because I understand that they're trying to go for like the creepy vibe, and they have like the music box playing and the thing spinning around or whatever, but the beginning of the dance, they're like these broken dolls, and with the right facials and the right editing, it would have been so creepy. So I'm a little upset that that wasn't in there. But then in terms of things in the music video, you could see in the music video that they already had a lot more distinct contrast between sustained movements and fast movements, which I feel like is something that they do really, really well today. One time it really stuck out to me was in the chorus when they're saying run. They go from like very quick running to a very slow sustained movement, and they like tilt their head back as they're doing it. And it was just a really nice moment because rather than just being like, here it is, and then moving on, they really milked it out through all of the counts that they were supposed to do it. But then, yeah, honestly, I just can't get over the storyline. Like, I'm so curious what's gonna happen in the finale, or in part 3. I think it's a trilogy, so the finale, because I never would have guessed that they'd be like in the forest as a coven of witches and trapping him in like an alternate reality. But it still was really cool, and it was still very much horror film. And I loved all of the contrast between like the innocent dresses that they had on with like the fire and the eyes on the walls and things like that. So that was really cool. I'm wondering if it's out of order. Basically, I just have a lot of questions, and so I'm not going to bore you all with them because I'll get them answered eventually. So Anna's turn.
So for my comments, I'm kind of just gonna go in chronological order of the song. The first note that I have is, haha, starting off with harmonies right off the bat. With like the music style that Dreamcatcher has, it's like very high intensity right off the bat. The instrumental was high intensity to some extent, but not as much as I would have expected. So instead, to like compensate for that, I guess, they have like, oh, this really noticeable harmony right from the start, so you still get that feeling. But then moving on, the next note that I had was the end of the chorus into the second verse, which is like the rap section. It does this cool percussion drop, so it feels like you're falling in. Also, rap section, I mentioned for the video we just watched, like I miss Tammy's deep voice, and it's noticeably deeper in this one. It's still not like as intense and like oof as it was for like the most recent stuff, but like that's for obvious reasons because there's like a 3-year gap in between, so there's a lot of growth that happens. But then the bridge was really interesting to me because like it pulls back, which makes sense because with songs that are so high intensity, like you need a moment where it pulls back so that the listeners aren't overwhelmed and you get a little bit of a break, and that's usually the bridge section. More so than that, it was interesting to me because it just felt like a whole different genre, because instead of like the do-do-do-do-do-do of the electric guitar that it's been playing, that rhythm, it just plays these like do sustained chords. But even more interesting than that to me was the transition from the bridge into the chorus immediately after it. For Shion's high note, that is the transition for that, I was expecting that line to resolve up, and then after the resolution up, it going into this chorus that's like full intensity to end the song. But instead, her high note resolves down, and the instrumental pulls back, and it goes into a chorus, but it's like a more sentimental, sparse, delicate version of the chorus. It kind of calls back to the beginning of the song, because the very beginning of the song is like the music box melody, and then the music box melody, that same line is played in the more like intense electric guitar for like the rock sound that they have. It was cool how like, oh, we're going into this and now we're coming out of it for like the bridge into chorus part. So I thought that was a really cool callback. But yeah, that is all that I had to say. Peyton, would you like to TLDR us?
TLDR, we reacted to Dreamcatcher for the first time in a while today, and we threw it all the way back to their debut in 2017, and it's honestly just been wild for both of us. We can definitely tell that they started with a very clear concept, but we also, having seen the most recent stuff, can see how much they have grown and how they have really developed the style that they started with, both in Chase Me and in Goodnight. And I think it's safe to say that we're both curious to see what all of the other releases in between these and their most recent ones sound like. Also to see the end of the story.
Yeah. But that being said, if you enjoyed this video and our reactions to Dreamcatcher, then please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye.